Okay, guys, we're finally on the home stretch. Let's finish page 4. 31 says that K lies in the interior of angle POW. W lies in the interior of angle KOA. Let's just worry about that first. K is on the interior of POW. So let's draw POW. Here's P, here's O, here's W. K is on the inside of that angle. So I'm going to put K right here and draw a line through it. So there's K. W is on the inside of angle KOA. Well, here's KO. If I draw another line over here, we're going to have A, and W will be inside that angle. Okay, let's see what else we know. The measure of angle POA is 120, so this whole thing is 120. The measure of angle POK is 50. Well, POK is right here. And we know that KOW is congruent to WOA. This angle here and this angle here are the same size. Well, it doesn't look like we have enough information to solve this because we know that this plus this equals this. But this is what we can do. Since we don't know what the value of this is, we can put an X here. We don't know the value of this either, but we know that whatever this is, this will be the same, so we can call that X as well. Now I can set up an equation. I can say that 50 plus X is going to equal 120. So I have 50 plus 2X equals 120. I'm going to subtract 50 on both sides, and I get 2X equals 70. I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get X equals 35. So that means the measure of angle WOA, which is X, is 35 degrees. And the measure of angle POW, okay, well, I'm going to need both of these together here. We know this is 35 now. The two of these together, 50 plus 35 is 85. So POW is going to have a measure of 85 degrees. Okay, number 32. It says, given that PQS, the measure of angle PQS, is 110, and the measure of angle TQR is 100, solve for X and Y. Now, I know it's a little hard to see. This is 6X plus 12. This is 3X minus 20. I have a Y here, an X here, and an X here. It's easiest to just worry with one variable at a time, so I'm going to look at just this piece. We already know that this whole angle is 100. We have both pieces, so I can say that this piece, 6X plus 12, plus this piece, 3X minus 20, is equal to 100, this whole TQR here. So if I combine my like terms, I get 9X minus 8 equals 100. I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and I get 108. I'm going to divide both sides by 9, and I'm going to get X equals 12. Okay, so I've got the first part of my problem done. If X equals 12, let's plug it in here. 12 times 6 is 72. 72 plus 12 is 84. So this angle is 84. Now we can look over here. We know that these two together have to add up to 110. So I can say that 8Y plus 2 plus 84 has to equal 110. Okay. 8Y plus 86 is 110. I need to subtract 86 on both sides. That's going to leave me with 24 left over. And if I divide both sides by 8, I get Y equals 3. So that was a tricky problem. You just have to break it up and solve for one variable at a time, which is what we did. Okay, we're finally on to topic 3. There's only 3 problems. You're going to be tested on this mostly on your project, but this will show up on your test, so we do need to know how to do it. This says find the midpoint for the segment with the following endpoints. Okay, well, the midpoint formula says add the x coordinates and divide by 2. Add the y coordinates and divide by 2. That'll give you your midpoint. You're taking an average. The average finds the middle, and this is what these are. These are averages. So let's label our points. This is going to be x1, y1. This is the first point. This is the x coordinate of the first point, the y coordinate of the first point, and this is going to be x2, y2, the x coordinate of the second point, the y coordinate of the second point. Okay, let's fill in what we know. x1 is 5, x2 is 8, y1 is -2, y2 is 6. All we have to do now is simplify. 5 plus 8 is 13. We can't divide 13 by 2, so we're going to leave it like that. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so we can leave it like that. This is my midpoint. Make sure you leave both of these answers. This is the x-coordinate of your midpoint and the y-coordinate of your midpoint. This is our final answer, just like this. Okay, number 34. One endpoint of a segment has coordinates of 7, negative 2, and the midpoint of the segment is 1, 3. Find the coordinates of the other endpoint. Well, I'm going to show you guys my trick for doing this one. For this one, we can do it the long way like we did in class, but I'm going to actually draw a picture by drawing a coordinate plane. My first point is at 7, negative 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down 1, 2. The midpoint of the segment is at 1, 3. Over 1, up 1, 2, 3. Okay. I want to figure out what I have to do to get from here, this endpoint, to here, this midpoint. Let's take a look. Upwise, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was a distance of 5 for me. I have to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I went over 6. Okay, well, if this is the midpoint, in order to get this other mystery endpoint over here, I should have to do the same thing. I should have to go up 5 and over 6. Well, let's think about this. The coordinate of the midpoint, they told us, is 1, 3. I have to go over 6. Let's do the x first. I have to go over 6, backwards 6 to get this way. So I'm going to have to take 1 minus 6 to keep going back that way. That's going to give me negative 5. If I'm at 3 here, I need to go up 5 more. That's going to give me a value of 8. So this coordinate here is back 5, up 8. And we can talk more about this and do this the long way later in class, but that's a little bit of a shortcut if you're able to follow along with that. Okay, lastly, we have number 35. Find the distance between these 2 points. There's 2 ways you can do this problem. You can either use the Pythagorean theorem or use the distance formula. And the distance formula says take the square root of the difference of the x coordinates squared plus the difference of the y coordinates squared. Here's my first point. So this is going to be x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2. Let's plug in what we know. x2 is 1, x1 is negative 5, y2 is 12, y1 is 4. 1 minus a minus 5, we add, so 1 plus 5 is 6. 12 minus 4 is 8. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. 36 plus 64 is 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. So the distance between point C and point D is 10. Well, congratulations, you guys made it through our review packet. Go ahead and keep studying, and we can answer any questions you have next time we see you in class.